Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. I'm Allie Clifton, joined by the one and only Hall of Famer, big game, James Worthy, 7-time champ, big shot, Robert Horry. Michael Bresnahan will be joining us later in the show. Mike Trudell is with the team on the trip. Guys feeling good?
No.
No. Okay. Honesty. I love it. Appreciate it.
I'm feeling good.
Yeah?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident.
I feel good because I had a good golf score today, but
There's the truth.
I'm always asked 1,000 times a day, what's going on with your boys? So I'm getting tired of that. So I want some change,
Well,
hopefully.
James, I got a solution for you. These things called cue cards. And you're right on. I don't know what is going on with the Lakers. That's what you just said.
You just give him a cue card.
You're hanging on my back in front.
You need a t-shirt that says, I don't know what's going on, don't ask me. Solves it for you. The Lakers are coming off a rough loss to the Indiana Pacers and are now 1-4 in their last 5 games. Take a look at the Lakers stats in that span. They're only putting up 107 points a game while shooting the 5th worst percentage from the field. On the other side of the ball, the Lakers are giving up 118 points a game, tied for the 3rd most in the league, while also allowing opponents to hit 50% from the field. That's 2nd worst in the NBA. So after coming off a 4-game winning streak, guys, to now losing 4 of their last 5, frustrating to say the least. We all know that. What's it going to take? Let's start there. Big game for them to get things back on track. Where do you want it to start?
It's at this point, if they haven't already done it a few times, they really got to have a serious conversation with themselves, about what it is they need to do. So it's a long season left, and you're going to get some players back. How do you want to shape this up? How do you want to correct this? You still got some games before All-Star break, and you have to make a decision. What's our identity? Are we going to be a tough defensive team? Then you got to work to that and not even worry about the offense. Offense will come, but I think that's where they got to decide who they are and what they're willing to give up on the defensive end every night, regardless of who they're playing, every quarter, because they've already laid the big old eggs all over the place in the last couple of months by losing to teams they shouldn't lose to, by giving up leads, by not being ready in the 3rd quarter, by having to say the same thing over and over in the press conference. We just need to play harder. So they got to decide right now, and it's got to be on the defensive end. We got to decide we have to do that every night. If they don't, it's going to be same old, same old.
For me, is to recognize your mistakes and not just see them. Go out there and put it on the course of, hey, this is what we're doing wrong. We need to solve this problem, because I keep going back to that Utah game, and I keep looking at the defensive end of it, how they rotated defense, how they stayed down. It was so textbook, and you can't just do that against the good teams. You got to do that against all the teams if you want to be successful in the league. So my whole thing is they need to sacrifice whatever else is going on and understand right now what's the most important thing is getting us back on track. Sacrifice your body, sacrifice whatever you need to do, but don't sacrifice time with family, because that's the most important thing. But go out there on this court and give it your all defensively and offensively, because when you look at them in that last game, defense, yeah, he got hot, but still, you didn't rotate hard enough. You didn't get people off the 3-point line. You didn't communicate well. There was a lot of little issues that was solved in the Utah game that raises ugly head again.
And the common thing that both of you has just said right there is that it starts with them, because the schedule isn't going to help them out. We know that. And when you speak of it being a long season, you're in that point where it becomes the dog days of the schedule if you're not there already. So that's not going to help you out either. So internally looking within, all the while, a big piece with the Lakers' bad play has been the significant story right now surrounding Frank Vogel and that of Russell Westbrook. Obviously, Frank Vogel, his job security, and then obviously his latest decision with benching Russell Westbrook. This is a team that has struggled to find chemistry in general. Big game. Does things like this make that more difficult? Do you expect, or are you concerned with any more friction right now, given all of that?
No, because, I'm used to coaches doing that. It's unfortunate that, it happened to a superstar player who may have not been, vibing with what was on the floor. Sometimes you have to you have to stay with what's working. So, I don't really put too much into it. I know a lot of people do because it's Russell Westbrook, and they feel like he's a big part of all of this this team, and that he's probably think he should be on the floor. But if they, if something is going well, it's like if a player is hot, he's, you don't take him out just because of analytics, because his minutes are up. So I just don't put a lot into it.
For me, I think every coach should look at what's happened in the past. I remember when the Rockets were playing the Clippers in the playoffs, and James Harden didn't finish the game. He was on the bench for the Rockets, and they came back and won that game. You stay with the hot team. Mm-hmm. And as a coach, you have to roll that dice. It's so many things. Think about it. Tom Brady was like that. He was on the bench, and then the starting quarterback gets hurt. Now we know who Tom Brady is. Yeah. So as a coach, you have to go with your gut feeling, and that's why you're the coach. And if it doesn't work out, you're going to get blamed for it. But it's due. You're going to look like a genius. And
also for a team that has struggled with consistency, what do they always tell you? We're going to do whatever we can. We're going to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. Because you haven't found it at that point. And by the way, we hadn't heard from Russell Westbrook, obviously did not speak to reporters after the game, but he has since spoken. We'll have that coming up later in the show. You'll want to hear what Russ had to say. This is the longest road trip of the season. Lakers reporter is always prepared. Let's bring in Mike Trudell, who is standing by in Orlando. Hello, Mike.
Hi, guys. What's happening? Welcome to Florida. And we will hear Frank Vogel talking some about Russell Westbrook coming up in his comments here. I wanted to start him, though, just thinking about the starting lineup, because for a while, the Lakers were going small with LeBron at the 5. And then the last couple games, it's been Dwight Howard. And I wonder if that was going to be a game-to-game thing versus something where he wanted to try to establish something that was continuous again up until the point where Anthony Davis returned. So here's Frank Vogel talking about that and then getting into Russell Westbrook.
I'm trying to bring as much stability to this stretch of our season as I can, while also, evaluating the matchups and knowing that we're not really fixed into one thing, but trying to bring as much stability as I can.
What have you seen from this Orlando team lately that's supposed to get Carter back tonight, and how do you think this specific matchup will look compared to what you're getting from your own squad lately?
Well, I think Coach Mosley's doing a great job, teaching the young guys how to play at this level and getting a lot out of his rookies, and really his whole team is young. Just looking at Mo Bamba play last game, there's a marked improvement in his play and how he's developing. Okiki had a great game against Philly, and they're playing extremely hard, and this is a game where you can't really look at their record. This team is young and they're fast, and they play with a lot of passion. They want to grow and they want to be great, and that's indicative of the coaching they're getting.
Yeah. Frank, when you make the kind of decision that you made with Russ late in the game, what comes next in terms of the coach and the player, and I guess how do you expect him to react tonight?
Yeah, just communicate. You know what I mean? Talk about the game. I do this with a lot of different players. If their night changed or something happened within their night, you always try to over communicate in those situations, and this one's no different. And I think our whole group is going to be focused on doing whatever is necessary to get tonight's win, and move on from it.
He said to us, I think he said it to Woj, like basically, I'm in for whatever, I'm willing to do what it takes. Is that what you've seen from him too? And
for sure, he's had a great willingness.